Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep.
Hey wife, we just got a new sponsor. It's Anchor. They must think we're doing something right because they picked us back up.
That's amazing. Want to hear something even more amazing?
Yeah?
I actually know what they are.
You are full of shit. I'm calling your bluff. Tell me about Anchor.
Okay, so Anchor by Spotify is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place.
I'm actually surprised you knew that, but did you also know that Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer?
Yes, because I see you do that on your phone all the time and it looks pretty simple.
It really is, and when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
But I use CastBox.
Yeah, darling, I know you like CastBox. It gets distributed there too, and lots of other platforms as well.
And how much are we paying for this awesome service?
Absolutely nothing.
Coolio! So then we should tell people to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started?
Yep, do it now.
Husband!
Yep, wife.
Hey, so I know that we just recorded one, so hopefully you remember what just happened?
I'm sure I could come close, maybe.
Okay, so tell us what just happened.
They turned rods and staffs into snakes, and then they, infested things, with frogs and flies and shit.
And who is they?
Well, it was, Moses and Aaron, is that the name?
That's his brother, yeah.
Yeah, with the help of God. And then, the Pharaoh's magicians did most of the same things, but, not quite as good. So then they're whatever. And then
They're
Pharaoh's
what?
And then, okay.
They're not as fancy. And then Pharaoh was like, what?
Right.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
So we are now going to do Exodus chapters 9 and 10.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do this.
Okie dokie.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there. So it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. Oh. But, we can definitely use any amount. So, any support is always appreciated.
So what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. Exodus chapter 9, the plague on the cattle.
Oh, the plague on the cattle, huh?
Yeah, we're not done yet. Go back to Pharaoh. Oh, because remember, Moses was like, let us go. And Pharaoh was like, nope. Okay. No, he said okay. And then Moses was like, don't you be lying to us. And
then he lied to him.
And then Pharaoh crossed his fingers behind his back and was right. Like, okay. So anyway, go back to the Pharaoh. The Lord commanded Moses, tell him, this is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go so they can worship me. If you continue to hold them and refuse to let them go, the hand of the Lord will strike all your livestock, your horses, donkeys, camels, cattle, sheep, and goats with a deadly plague. He's always so mean to the animals. God.
Well,
that really bothers me.
He's the one making the Pharaoh be a dick. So.
Right. Be a dick so I can kill all the animals.
Right?
Yeah. But the Lord will again make a distinction between the livestock of the Israelites and that of the Egyptians. Not a single one of Israel's animals will die.
I mean, technically, aren't they their slaves? So they could just be like, we'll take those now.
Yeah. Seriously. The Lord has already set the time for the plague to begin. He has declared that he will strike the land tomorrow. And the Lord did just as he has said. The next morning, all the livestock of the Egyptians died, but the Israelites didn't lose a single animal. Pharaoh sent his officials to investigate, and they discovered that the Israelites had not lost a single animal. But even so, Pharaoh's heart remained stubborn, and he still refused to let the people go.
Okay. Look, this is like God fucking with them.
I know.
Because he's making them do it, but at the same time, like...
Learn.
Right.
Just learn, guy.
Yeah.
The plague of boils. Oh, God. Not the boils.
I hate it when boils get plagues.
Have you ever had a boil?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have either. What about a bunion? What's the difference between a boil and a bunion?
I don't know.
I don't either. And a wart. Like, are those all variations of warts?
I mean, the only Bunyon I know about is Paul, so...
Paul Bunyon. And his blue...
It's been too long. I don't remember any of that.
Doesn't he have like a blue ox?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And
he created the Grand Canyon too.
Yeah, because they fight all over the lands of America, and
right.
They made the mountains and the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, and then Johnny Appleseed made apples.
That's a different story.
I know, but it was all kind of in the same.
Those American tall tales.
Yeah.
They want to be British so bad because British have better stories. It's true. You know I'm right.
I mean, I don't know.
British have castles.
I wanted to be Davy Crockett when I was growing up. You know?
Oh my God.
And wear a coonskin hat and everything.
Boys are dumb because, I mean, British have castles and they have royalty and stuff. And then we come here and we have the frontier.
Right.
Fuck the frontier. Fuck the West. Fuck cowboys. Fuck horses. Fuck farms. Fuck all that.
I mean, I don't recommend fucking any of that stuff. But
no, but I'm just saying, like... No, England is better with their stories.
What stories do they have?
Kings and castles.
But like specifically what
stories?
They
have the Canterbury Tales, and they have Beowulf, and they have Agatha Christie, and they have other things. Oh, they have C.S. Lewis, Chronicles of Narnia.
This is getting a lot. Well, I mean, that was kind of Bible-ish, but like we're getting way off track here.
I'm just saying, like, those are all better stories.
All right, whatever.
Their old stories are better than our stupid American tall tales.
Okay.
Anyway, the plague of boils.
Yeah.
Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Take handfuls of soot from a brick kiln and have Moses toss it into the air while Pharaoh watches. The ashes will spread like fine dust over the whole land of Egypt, causing festering boils to break out on people and animals throughout the land." I forgot to mention Shakespeare. I mean, he's the greatest of all. Yeah. So anyway.
Next.
Sorry. This is so boring is all. So they took soot from a from a brick kiln and went and stood before Pharaoh. As Pharaoh watched, Moses threw the soot into the air and boils broke out on the people and animals alike.
I'm still wondering why they haven't killed him. Like, he's sitting here doing all this shit to his people.
Right.
And he's like, why don't you just put an arrow through his heart and be done?
I mean, the only thing I could think of is that they're like, well, I don't want to outright piss his God totally off, but I don't mind annoying his God.
I guess. So did they just kill all your cattle and like, right? I mean, I don't know. Sounds pretty bad.
You had me at the fucking lice.
Right.
Even the magicians were unable to stand before Moses because the boils had broken out on them and all the Egyptians. So this sounds like a real plague.
Right.
Like a plague in the plaguey sense of the word.
Sure.
Plague.
Sure.
Like what we're currently living through. A plague.
Right.
Except that ours is just fluish, not boilish.
Right.
But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and just as the Lord had predicted to Moses, Pharaoh refused to listen.
Wow.
This is so dumb. Like, it's so repetitive.
Yeah. And what is the purpose behind this exactly?
I don't know. I think this is just
so that
somebody...
God can kill lots of people and animals and stuff?
I think that these are things that happened Oh, I'm so tired. It's so boring. I think these are just things that happen and the writers had to go back and give it a reason. And they're like, because God's a dick.
Okay.
Okay, the plague of hail. Hail. Oh, hail. Then the Lord said to Moses, get up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Tell him, this is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go so they can worship me. If you don't, I will send more plagues on you and your officials and your people. Then you will know that there is no one like me in all the earth. No one like you. Okay. By now I could have lifted my hand and struck you and your people with a plague to wipe you off the face of the earth. But I have spared you for a purpose, to show you my power and to spread my fame throughout the earth. But you still lord it over my people. I refuse to let them go. Blah, blah, blah. So tomorrow at this time I will send a hailstorm more devastating than any in all of the history of Egypt. Quick! Order your livestock and servants to come in from the fields to find shelter. Any person or animal left outside will die when the hail falls.
Wait, I thought the livestock was all dead already.
No, they have boils.
No, but they killed the livestock before that, remember?
No, they didn't kill them. They killed the frogs.
No, they killed the livestock.
When?
Right before the boils.
When did they kill them?
Go back and read it real quick.
This part? In the same story?
I know I'm right.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, they killed all
no
the
way.
livestock. Go find it.
The Plague of Boils.
No, before the boils. Before the boils.
He said, continue the land. I'm going to strike your livestock with all of these things.
What?
Not a single one of... Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was right.
You were right. I am wrong. Right. Because the Egyptians' livestock all died, but the Israelites didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You were totally right.
God, it was like 30 seconds ago. Well, no, you got off on a rant.
I got off on a rant.
And then you forgot everything.
I can't be held responsible for this.
I mean... You can, and I am.
It's so...
Holding you responsible for it.
It's so irrelevant, and it's so repetitive, and it's so boring. I just can't make it stick in my head.
But I'd just like to note that you insisted you were right, and you were not.
My husband, you were right, and I was wrong. You are pretty, and I am ugly. And you are everything, and I am nothing.
Okay.
You are smart, and I am stupid.
Let's continue.
Okay.
As soon as you find your place here.
Well, you made me scroll around.
Because you were wrong.
I was wrong, and I admit it. And you're still being a dick. God.
I know.
Let it go.
I'm just filling space till you find your spot.
Oh, God, I hate you. All right. So, quick, order your livestock and servants to come in from the fields to find shelter. Any person or animal left outside will die when the hail falls. Some of Pharaoh's officials were afraid because of what the Lord had said. They quickly brought their servants and livestock that they shouldn't have anymore because they are all dead, in from the fields. But those who paid no attention to the word of the Lord left theirs out on the open, which doesn't matter because they were dead anyways.
Right, exactly.
Then the Lord said to Moses, lift your hand toward the sky so hail may fall, blah, 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 blah. So hail may fall on the people, the livestock, and all the plants throughout the land of Egypt. So Moses lifted his staff. I bet he did. Toward the sky, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and lightning flashed toward the earth. The Lord sent a tremendous hailstorm against all the land of Egypt. Never in all the history of Egypt had there been a storm like that, with such devastating hail and continuous lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It left all of Egypt in ruins. The hail struck down everything in the open field. People, animals, and plants alike. Even the trees were destroyed. The only place without hail was the region of Goshen, where the people of Israel lived. Then Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron. This time I have sinned, he confessed. The Lord is the righteous one, and my people and I are wrong. Bum, bum, bum.
It only took destroying everything.
Everything. All the land, all the water, all the animals, everything.
Right.
Please beg
he destroyed all the livestock twice even.
Twice. Please beg the Lord to end this terrifying thunder and hail. And the thunder. And the thunder. And the thunder. And the thunder.
No.
We've had enough. I will let you go. You don't need to stay any longer. All right, Moses replied. What?
It just reminded me of Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Okay.
Okay.
As soon as I leave the city, I will lift my hands and pray to the Lord. Then the thunder and hail will stop, and you will know that the earth belongs to the Lord. But I know that you and your officials still do not fear the Lord God. All the flax and barley were ruined by the hail because the barley had formed heads and the flax was budding, but the wheat and the emmer wheat were spared because they had not yet sprouted from the ground.
Okay.
That was all in parentheses is why I read it that way.
Got it.
So Moses left Pharaoh's court and went out of the city. When he lifted his hands to the Lord, the thunder and hail stopped, and the downpour ceased. But when Pharaoh saw that the rain, hail, and thunder had stopped...
Oh my God, really?
He and his officials sinned again, and Pharaoh again became stubborn.
Oh my God.
Because his heart was hard, Pharaoh refused to let the people leave just as the Lord had predicted through Moses. The end.
What a bunch of shit.
I know. Does it ever end?
I don't know. Let's find out.
All right. Exodus chapter 10, the Plague of Locusts.
More plagues.
More plagues. Then the Lord said to Moses, return to Pharaoh and make your demands again.
I have a question, though. Once you've, plagued so many times and you've destroyed everything so many times, does destroying everything again really do that much more harm?
No, it's kind of like in Deadpool when, before he became Deadpool and he told Francis, the thing about torturing somebody 24/7 is that there's really nothing you can do to up your game.
Right.
It's kind of true.
Right.
Like, you've done everything.
Right.
What's left?
Yeah.
I guess we'll see, huh?
Yep.
I have made him and his officials stubborn so I can display my miraculous signs among them. That is so backwards.
Right.
They're going to think I'm awesome and scary and a dick. Yeah.
Right.
I've also done it so you can tell your children and grandchildren about how I made a mockery of the Egyptians and about the signs I displayed among them. And so you will know that I am the Lord. He must have a small deck.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
He is overcompensating hard motherfucking core.
Definitely, because he could have, apparently, based on his powers and what he said he's doing to the Pharaoh, he could have made this stop anytime.
Yeah.
So
this also defeats the entire idea of free will.
Right, right.
Unless that's a New Testament thing and he got out of people's hearts and heads. I don't know. But I don't know. This is dumb and I hate it.
Yeah, I agree.
So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said, this is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long will you refuse to submit to me? Let my people go so they can worship me. If you refuse, watch out, for tomorrow I will bring a swarm of locusts on your country. They will cover the land so that you won't be able to see the ground.
Didn't they do that with the flies?
They did.
Okay.
They will devour what is left of your crops after the hailstorm, including all the trees growing in the fields.
I thought there wasn't going to be any left after the hailstorm.
Oh, who fucking knows?
I'm just saying.
They will overrun your palaces and the homes of your officials and all the houses in Egypt.
Didn't the frogs already do that?
They did.
Okay.
Never in the history of Egypt have your ancestors seen a plague like this one.
For one day only.
Call now. Operators are standing by.
The Plague of Locusts.
And with that, Moses turned and left Pharaoh. Pharaoh's officials now came to Pharaoh and appealed to him. How long will you let this man hold us hostage? Let the men go to worship the Lord their God. Don't you realize? Don't you realize that Egypt lies in ruins? For fuck's sake. You said it in the wrong place.
Sorry.
But yes, very fitting.
Right.
So Moses and Aaron were brought back to the Pharaoh. All right, he told them, go and worship the Lord your God. But who exactly will be going with you again now? Moses replied, we will all go, young and old, our sons and daughters, and our flocks and herds. We must all join together in celebrating a festival to the Lord. Pharaoh retorted, the Lord will certainly need to be with you if I let you take your little ones. I can see through your evil plan. Never! Only the men may go and worship the Lord, since that is what you requested. Womp womp. And Pharaoh threw them out of the palace. I don't know.
Okay.
What's the evil plot?
What's... They can bring a plague against you any second they want to, and you're
fucking around
still
with them?
negotiating and fucking around with them. Yeah, that's not smart.
This is dumb. The whole thing is dumb.
It really is.
Then the Lord said to Moses, Raise your hand over the land of Egypt to bring on the locusts. Let them cover the land and devour every plant that survived the hailstorm. So Moses raised his staff over Egypt, and the Lord caused an east wind to blow over the land all that day and through the night. When morning arrived, the east wind had brought the locusts, and the locusts swarmed over the whole land of Egypt, settling in dense swarms from one end of the country to the other.
Except for Goshen, though, probably.
Right, except for Goshen, I bet. It was the worst locust plague in Egyptian history, and there has never been another one like it. For the locusts covered the whole country and darkened the land. They devoured every plant in the fields and all the fruit on the trees that had survived the hailstorm. Not a single leaf was left on the trees and plants throughout the land of Egypt. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron. I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you, he confessed. Forgive my sin just this once and plead with the Lord your God to take away this death from me.
Wouldn't you be like, you said this before, you fuckface?
Right? Like, no, you lie. You're a liar.
We'll let it up once we get out of town, yo.
Yeah, let us go and then we will.
Yeah.
So Moses left Pharaoh's court and pleaded with the Lord. The Lord responded by shifting the wind, and the strong west wind blew the locusts into the Red Sea. Not a single locust remained in all the land of Egypt, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart again.
Like I said, do we not learn here?
So he refused to let the people go, and it was all God's fault, because he's the one that made it happen, just like that.
Right.
This is dumb, and I hate it, and that's why I'm reading it.
Well, but
so
also
ridiculous.
Moses and Aaron are kind
Stupid.
of like, why would you keep letting up the thing
Right?
before you get to leave?
Right.
Like, go ahead and get your people and like get on out of town.
Let's
Like,
get.
I'll go on get.
Go like Jimmy Fallon says, go on, get. Okay, the plague of darkness. Then the Lord said to Moses, lift your hand toward heaven, and the land of Egypt will be covered with a darkness so thick you can feel it.
Darkness so thick?
Darkness so thick you can feel it.
Okay.
That kind of darkness.
Got it.
The darkness. So Moses lifted his hand to the sky, and a deep darkness covered the entire land of Egypt for 3 days.
Deep darkness.
During all that time, the people could not see each other, and no one moved. But there was light as usual where the people of Israel lived. Finally, Pharaoh called for Moses. I don't know how they got there, because they couldn't fucking see.
I mean, did they still have torches and shit?
It was a very thick darkness, so I don't see how the torches would work.
I don't know.
Go and worship the Lord, he said, but leave your flocks and herds here. You may even take your little ones with you. No, Moses said. You must provide us with animals for sacrifices and burnt offerings to the Lord our God. All our livestock must go with us too. Not a hoof can be left behind. We must choose our sacrifices for the Lord our God from among these animals. And we won't know how we are to worship the Lord until we get there, so But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart once more. And he would not let them go. Get out of here, Pharaoh shouted at Moses. I'm warning you, never come back to see me again. The day you see my face, you will die. Very well.
I mean, okay, look, I'm on like two minds of this, but like that part, the part where he's going to kill him, is long overdue.
Long overdue.
And the part where Moses is like, dude, I'm not lifting this till I get out of town is also
well
long overdue.
Yeah. The day you see my face, you will die. Very well, Moses replied. I will never see your face again. Boom. Mic drop. Out. The end.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it?
For that chapter.
What a bunch of shit.
Right?
Like
what
this whole thing is just like a pissing contest between a couple of idiots, God and Pharaoh, and then Moses is waving his fucking rod around and making shit happen.
And all the women are sitting back rolling their eyes going, can we just?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Yeah. This whole story has got me so annoyed. I mean, it's irksome.
It is.
It's irksome because it's like, here, let me do a thing. No! Okay, I'll just punish you. Oh, God, stop punishing me! And then the whole thing happens all over again, like 10 times in a row.
Right.
10 times in a row.
Yeah.
10 times in a row.
Apparently we don't learn lessons back then.
Ever.
At all.
Ever.
Okay, well, shall we see if next week we are going to learn some lessons and pick this up again next Thursday?
Yeah. Hopefully things work out.
All right.
That will be Exodus chapters 11 and 12.
All right. Join us next week for chapters 11 and 12 of Exodus. And
I'll try to be less annoyed.
it won't happen.
No.
And God's still going to be a dick.
God's always a dick.
And Pharaoh
will be stupid.
Is Pharaoh.
And childish and
unteachable.
Moses
will still have a rod. So.
A rod and a stutter.
See you guys.
Bye. Husband.
Yes, wife.
Is there a way for people to contact us?
Well, sure. They can get on our Twitter account.
We have a Twitter account?
We do.
What is it?
It is sacrilegious_D.
Like D for discourse?
Yeah, they wouldn't let me put the whole thing, so I had to shorten it to _D.
I hate them.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
How do you spell sacrilegious? Do you know?
I don't want to. Just look it up in a dictionary or something. I don't want to do that right now.
You know why?
Sacrilegious_D. Okay?
Because you messed it up and I made you fix it. That's why.
Yeah.
What about an email?
Yeah, we got that too.
What is it?
sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to spell sacrilegious.
Right. Well, definitely get a hold of us. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And, any comments, hate mail. We love that kind of stuff.
Also, you could answer some questions that we leave throughout or, correct my pronunciations.
Yeah,
which are probably
please.
bad, wrong, and horrible.
Because we suck sometimes.
Absolutely!
Oh, also, if you like this shit or whatnot, give us a like on your podcasting app and stuff, or even leave a comment or something.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Goodbye.